Shalom, shalom, shalom. Alright, so what's your last name? Alright? What's your surname, black people? Because we've been lied to. The Edomite wild man Caucasian, he stole our heritage. He stole our treasure. He stole our forefathers' corpse. They're literally living in our manors back in England, Ireland, and Scotland. You think, and history taught us, the same thieves that stole this land, that stole our Israelite heritage, that stole our Christ, our saints, is the same ones that taught us our surnames came from their forefathers, which is emphatically incorrect. All right? This is something that needs to be talked about. People fail to realize black people colonized America first. And black people came here with prisoners of war first, black and white. And them same black prisoners came from England, Ireland, and Scotland. The fight between Oliver Cromwell and King Charles. All right? So it was all type of black men coming to the Americas and the Caribbean islands with their surnames. But you say, well, we know that a lot of the blacks are Aboriginal Americans. Yeah, we know that. But we know that during that time in the 1600s, we say 1619, 1620, when the prisoners of war, the black prisoners of war, were coming into the lands and escaping, they were making league in families with the Aboriginal Americans, Aboriginal black Americans that was here. And this is how our names sprouted throughout the Americas and how we got our names, various names that come from England, Ireland, and Scotland, where our forefathers once dwelt and ruled with an iron fist until we broke the commandments of the Most High Yahweh and got cursed, got our names taken from us, our language, our heritage. We literally got Caucasians running around bearing our family heralds, wearing our family names. And they can't date back to them people. The furthest they could date back is to the 1700s. All right? Our surnames are not slave surnames. We have books like Jacobite Gleaning showing descriptions of black men with their English, Irish, and Scottish surnames. You know what I'm saying? Because this is important, because if you tell a child you got your name from a slave master, you're ripping them from his heritage, from information, from history, all right, which is a rich history. To where if you see an Edomite or Caucasian with that surname, you can verbally chastise him and say, listen, that is not your name. You come from the Caucasus Mountains. In the 1500s, in the 1400s, y'all was in the Caucasus Mountains. We got German tapestries of our black ancestors fighting against y'all. As y'all coming out of the caves, as we guarding our castles. We got these documents. We got these tapestries. We got this information. In the Prince Mirror, it once stated that they seen and the King's Mirror is a book about black kings of Europe. It's called King's Mirror. He talks about the Caucasian coming out of the Caucasus Mountains as if it was a dog, as if it was some kind of human being. I mean, mankind, not even human being, mankind, as if it was some. We got these documents. So, in order for the Caucasian not to keep himself in the mountains, in the caves, he got to suppress our history. He's latching onto our history. He straddled up our history like a saddle, and he's riding it. Because if that veil come off, it'll show your ancestors in them caves. And it'll show that your whole history was stolen and fabricated. And that the people that y'all holding the luxury of, y'all oppressing them. The people's castles y'all dwelling in, y'all living, y'all got their soul, literally. All right? Because you got their names. You got their history. You got their forefathers' ashes, literally. All right? So once we nip this in the butt and remember who we are, we'll treat each other better. You know? A white man with this information, knowing your surname information in a mass amount, in a mass appeal, a white man wouldn't be able to look you in your eye without saying, surely my forefathers inherited lies. You know? They inherited lies. The Caucasian inherited lies. He's running around with a name that don't belong to him. And he's stepping on the young children that can grow with this information. Because all they got to do is show the faces in the school. We have enough names, enough prominent figures, that their history don't start with the slave master. We got people like Benjamin Banneker. Why we don't find that last name no more? Why we don't find that last name in the black community? Banneker. Why is it hid? We got to start researching these surnames and researching the black people that wear these surnames. Why is it that a white man have a surname as Moore? How can a Caucasian have the surname as Moore? And then look a black child in the face and tell him he ain't nothing but a nigga. And then we don't pick it up, and then we don't catch on. You know, because they rocked us to sleep with that doctrine that we wearing the name of our slave masters, and that's the white man name. No, that's not the white man name. We have books like Ancient and Modern Brits by David Matt Ritchie that let you know all of England, Ireland, and Scotland was predominantly ran by black men, by black people. And this book was written over 50 years ago, over 60 years ago. We have books like Jacobite Gleaning, Winch the Black Irish of Jamaica. Why is these books not in our schools? So we can look at each other different. So we can say, oh shit, you're royalty from Europe. Your ancestors your ancestors was dealing with my ancestors. Look, the last names connect. That's how deep it could be. We could start an aristocrat. The black people don't have an aristocrat. We have a boule. We don't have an aristocratic system. We have a boule. You know? And we're high in our history. They're high in our history. And we need to bring this out. These are our last names. These are our family heralds. These are our coat of arms. Those are our castles. And our DNA is all through it. You know? So it's about time. The time is now, people. Black man. It's time to, in the Americas, Caribbean islands, Europe, South America. You know, it's time. And then once we do that, we can be a beacon to Latin America. Because 95% of the surnames of Latin America was from black Spaniards. And I could prove that. I could prove the Spaniards was black. And the Spaniards situated the whole surname situation. Just like the Normans did in England. And the Normans were black. We have all the documents. This is our history. And this history can rise us up if we put this shit in our schools to show these kids. This is simple education. History. All right, history about surnames. You could put that in the school. In the elementary school, right? This is the founders of the surnames. The Normans were people that, you know, did what they did and made sure everybody everybody signed on to the tax, whatever. But you can let these kids know who they are and where they come from. Because it was not Africa. All right? It was not Africa. The blacks in America, in the Caribbean islands, is Afro-Europeans and Aboriginals. That's it. We have to literally reshape our minds on how they laid it out for us. We gotta break the puzzle and put that shit back together. Because they left pieces out of that puzzle that can rise a generation. Because this ain't for this generation. This generation ain't gonna understand this information. This is for the next generation. Oh shit, yo, we related, we crew, we family. This is how it can happen. By remembering who we are. We are not Africans. We Afro-Europeans and Aboriginals. This is how we got our surnames. We are too ignorant, strong-minded, and headstrong to take on a surname of a Caucasian. What kind of weak man is you telling what kind of a weak person you trying to call the black man? You think the black man was that weak? Are you crazy? And we liberated America. The black man liberated America for what it is now. And you trying to say we so weak, we took on the names of our slave masters? That's emphatically incorrect. We are a strong stock of people. The stock of people that's here, the new stock of black people that's here in the Americas and the Caribbean islands from the Americas, from what happened. Once we all remember from the Americas to the Caribbean islands that we are a family, you bring that information up. You show the schools this information. Like, hold on, we got to change this curriculum. We know who we are. This is our shit. Y'all wearing our names. Y'all wearing our names, man. Y'all sleeping in our fathers' graves. Names are spiritual, man. People don't understand the spiritual aspect of a name. From where a person, you have Caucasian kids that literally think because that black kid got the same name as him, that his family once enslaved that black kid. You have people thinking like that. And you have black kids thinking like, oh, because this white guy got my name, he must have enslaved me. And that's wrong on both ends. It's dangerous. Because yes, we was enslaved by y'all motherfuckers, but we ain't take y'all names. You can't find that nowhere. And the only ones that did take the names were the rape babies. The one that the slave master came, had a baby by the black woman. Now the black woman got a chocolate-colored white baby, a chocolate-colored Caucasian. And that mother give the baby that name, and that woman give the baby the father name, and that kid go on with the slave master name. Sowing tears in the wheat. What I mean by that is planting black babies into our neighborhoods, messing up the bloodline, killing the family branch. And this is where it all goes wrong, because through my studies, I'm realizing all the people that was telling us, like the main people that was telling us that our surnames came from the white man, that actual man came from a white man. He was a black. He was he had a white father and a black mother. And that same man, Elijah Muhammad, was the one that said and spreaded that seed that we got our names from the white man. Because I ain't really hear that in school. You know what I'm saying? I first heard that by the Nation of Islam, that the black man got her name from the slave master. And then when I did the history, it was all fucking wrong. It was all wrong. I found slaves and I found masters. And I found two different surnames. And I said, whoa, how was you the slave master, but y'all got the two different surnames? Did y'all ever carry the surname? You know, so I said, oh shit, they're lying to us. Why they want to break that branch? Because how would you feel if you came from a white father and a black mother, and you see a whole bunch of black families, and they're thriving, and they're the Johnson family, and then this family, and you see the strength in that. And in that strength you see in that, it belittles you. It makes you want to react. That's the Caucasian in you. That's the devil in you. And this is what happened, man. They can't step how we step. He black like us, but he just can't do that step. And that caused hate, and that caused scramble their brains. Let them think they got their names from the slave master. That's the only thing I could think about. Why would you spread that doctrine when it's not true? If you ain't do your due diligence. Or you did your due diligence, but you was scared of the aftermath of that shit. If everybody realized their families. We ain't too far from each other. We are not too far from each other. I'm talking about the blacks in the Americas and the Caribbean islands. We wear these surnames for a reason. A surname is like an ancient social security number. You know what I'm saying? They hide this from us because they know if these niggas find out who they are, we're going to have to give up everything we got. You got McDonald's. You got Barnes and Noble. You have, these are all families. These were black families that once ruled. So you got to say, hold on. These ain't y'all. How y'all attained these monikers? Who y'all steal these monikers from? Who you steal these handles from? How far can you date that you own this handle? That it goes back to your bloodline, and they can't prove it. They can't prove it. And they know, once we know who we are, the wool is off our eyes. You know what I'm saying? The Caucasian will surely come to you and say, yes, my forefathers inherited lies. You are the true owner.